You want to make a Dash game. In this app, any game can be used as a template just by selecting the remix button. Let's go and look at the minion game that I made. Thought it'd be a great idea to go in and make easy levels and use the hard level as a template, kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, giving the player a better understanding of the Dash world. Let's go ahead, hit remix. First thing I'm going to do here is hit save and rename it temp level 1. By hitting save, it saves it into our drafts and we can go back to it. When you make a bunch of different levels, different games, sometimes it gets a little confusing. You don't want to accidentally save over something that was a finished game. By remixing this and copying the previous game, we're able to keep all the features that were in the original game, which is mainly the minion character. I spent many hours even just coming up with this concept of minions as squares and then dressing them up. And that is all done right here using broadcasters and switch nodes. Here we're just going to be designing the level, so let's go ahead and scroll to area pick, and I'm just going to go ahead and start deleting a bunch of this stuff so that we can start from scratch. The area pick is a very useful tool. It's the one with the finger pointing. You can select a wide area of objects and delete them. You can even move them around like so, but we are making a new level, so we want to delete everything and have a fresh canvas to play with. Also, you can select everything and hit the duplicate button. So now we have a duplicate of what we wanted before, which is kind of nifty. However, if you made a mistake, there's also the undo button. As you can see, it's moving the objects back and now it's deleted. Everything is in a 3-dimensional world because how the camera is pointed, we see it 2-dimensionally. Here is the finish line. Pinch to zoom in and tap and hold to select multiple items and do that to delete. So when we go to the builder panel up over here and select this one that says 10 block, and we'll have this go to the finish line, which I made a popsicle stick. If we select the popsicle stick, we can tap this little arrow on the bottom left and it'll show that the x coordinate is at x of 124.034. Let's go ahead and move that to 100, and that will move it about 25 units to the left, just like that. So now it's at 100, making this map a little bit shorter as it is the first level, and we want to get the player introduced into how to play with simple obstacles that don't destroy the character right away. Duplicate this a couple times. At the very beginning are some instructions on how to create the level. If you're new, definitely read through everything, as there may be tips on how to level up your game dev abilities. In that text somewhere it says the lowest you can go should be about y of -2, trying to lower it down, and then we can get y of -2. Now I do want to add some destroying blocks, and I can just go ahead like this, drag and drop. 1 there, 2 there, put 1 there. Space this out a little bit as we don't want this to be too difficult. Maybe tap and hold like this, and we'll just see what it looks like over there. Maybe try that out. And I'm gonna create something a little bit more simple. And notice how everything is moving kind of in a grid format. That is because we have snapping on. If you set it to free movement, it would move freely, but because we are creating a level, snap to grid is the best way when designing a level, something like that. Because I do want to make this game a little bit challenging for those who want to get the high score, I'm going to grab this 5 block, drag and move it over here. And let's go ahead, grab one of these single spikes, tap it. Next, you can rotate any object by selecting this rotation tool. And here we can see the cube. Let's move into a better angle. And you can tap these discs and it will move the object 90 degrees. Let's go ahead and move this one over here. And we're going to hit duplicate, move it over to this side, and rotate again. Next, pinch, squeeze out, tap and hold, duplicate like this, like this. Now, I don't know if this is going to be difficult or not. That's where playtesting is instrumental, and let's give it a go. So I don't like how that first jump is set up. Let's go ahead and change it up a little bit. Select all these. do something like that. That looks good. And for these, all you have to do is consistently make this jump and you'll be able to get the candy. Okay, it looks like the little dude cannot, oh, he can make it, barely. Alright, that's a little bit too difficult for the first level. We want to make it, again, kind of easy, but not so difficult that it's impossible. Let's try that. Okay, that looks good. Go ahead, select one of these, hit duplicate. The fun stuff about working on single levels is you can do this anywhere, do it at a coffee shop, on the bus. The best way to make a game is just one level at a time. And I think this is decent, so let's go ahead and grab some candies and then we can continue to play test accordingly. I want to put candies both on the top and the bottom. However, make sure that's on the right z-axis by taking 2 fingers, and we can see that this piece of candy is not on the right z-axis, so let's grab it, hit the move, and there we go. There we pick, select, duplicate. That is the easiest way to select multiple items, copy them, and then rearrange them as such. Here, we'll just go ahead, select that middle one, hit delete. Go ahead, put some candy here and here. So step 1 is let's just complete this level the easy way. A little bit difficult right there at the end, but nothing we can't handle. I do kind of feel like that last column over here isn't necessary, so let's go ahead and select all this, hit delete. Grab that finish line, move it over a little bit. And you know, I still like that concept of jumping for the goal. So let's go ahead and add a jump to get to the finish, adding a little bit of a challenge. This is a template made for easy drag and drop game creation. Let's test this out by going the easy way on the bottom. A little bit tricky right there. A little bit tricky right there. Maybe add something at that very end. Let's try the top now. Again, this will be more difficult, but I like to have challenges for those that are ready for the challenge. Okay, that went great. Tap and hold to duplicate, just like that. And I kind of want something over here at the end, and let's just add one of these. Sweet, one more test. Always good to test your game over and over again just to find some bugs, which I do remember now that there is this piece of candy and it's just floating in the air like that. So let's grab it and move it down. All right, let's go. Okay, that was too soon. So that might be challenging for some people. I might need to get rid of that. Let's try it again. Okay, so it's not so bad. Just can't jump out of the way. Let's go the top route. This is for the professionals. Boom. Cool. This is the new level 1. In this game, there is the ability to create a title screen, and we want to go to the left, find thumbnail, looking good. This minion dash, number 1 is going to be the thumbnail. That's going to be what you see before you play the game. Try to attract players to play your game. Let's go ahead and turn this on, and we can see how everything looks. Let's hit play. Here's the thumbnail. So I'm gonna go down here, and there I just noticed that all these minions actually move, which is kind of funny. They should not be in play, but in hindsight, they were taken from the original layer. And let me actually go into each of these guys and see if any of them have physics. Some of these minions are connected to the main character. I'm gonna select the cube and do detach from parent. Okay, let's hit save. We already have a level 1. Let's go save this. Like making games on your phone, check out these Dash games, and if you want, make your own.